Hey guys, we are on the last lesson of chapter 2. And so this is dealing with, we're going to call it the percent proportion. So we talked about this in both classes yesterday. And again, we talked about how this is kind of like a gateway algebra stuff, so that's pretty exciting. So I got a couple things. First off, I know what a percent is. It's comparing a number to 100, but what is a proportion? Proportion. I showed it to you yesterday, but now we've got it officially in our notes. It's an equation that shows two ratios. And remember, we talked about ratio is just a fancy way of saying fraction. So two fractions. An equation that shows two fractions, or two ratios or fractions, are equal to each other. Okay, so what is a percent proportion? Okay, so here's what we got. We're going to break it into two pieces. One ratio compares part to whole. So you have a number that is a portion of the other number. We talked about part to whole when we were dealing with ratios, remember that? And that's when we're looking at one of the pictures, and the whole would be all the pictures, okay? The second ratio is a percent written as a fraction. So we're going to give it a denominator of 100, okay? And the percent written as a fraction, I'm going to say that is equal to the first ratio. Okay, so basically what we've got here is, let's say we have 1, 2, 4, and that's going to be the same as 25 to 100. So the number on top is called the part number, and the number on the bottom in the denominator is called the whole number. So that's what these proportions are comparing to each other, is this portion from the whole picture versus the whole picture, okay? So, I'm not going to write this down. I'm just going to jump to the chase. So I had a graphic organizer that was basically taken out of your book. So those of you who see the hard copy of the notes will see that, but we're not going to add it in now. So how do I solve a proportion? To solve a proportion, okay, first we're going to identify who plays the part you're going to identify who plays the whole. And you're going to identify the percent. Let's see. Should we give him a color? Let's give him this color. The reason why we're only identifying 3 of the 4 pieces is because the 100 is always there. So here's what it looks like. So I'm going to just go ahead and put in the parts that are always in the percent proportion. We have the 2 fraction bars, an equal sign, and 100 in the denominator of the second one. So the part number is on the top left. The whole number is underneath them on the bottom left. And then the percent is always going to be over the 100. Because remember, a percent number, if we take off the percent sign and we write it as a vertical divide by 100, there you go. Okay. The next thing you're going to do, so we've just identified them, we're going to substitute the values into the percent proportion. Okay. And then you can either scale up or back to find the missing value. Or do cross products, and we'll talk about that as an option as well. Okay, now I do want to tell you that when we're reading word problems, we are going to look for some keywords. So I'm going to do this on my next slide because I've run myself out of room. So what I'm talking about is I'm going to take my part over whole, get all the frame part in here, and then part over whole, and then percent over 100. I'm just going to, well, yeah, I'll write the word. So when I'm reading, I'm going to be saying English. And so I'm not going to see any words that tell me, oh, this number's the part number, or this number's the whole number, or it's obvious which one is the percent number, okay? What we're going to look for are these words. Is the part word, goes with the part word. Of goes with the whole word. Oops, I forgot to put the 100 in there. There we go. And then percent is pretty simple because usually it's going to be the symbol percent, or it could be the word what percent. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example. Well, actually, we'll do it in our examples, okay? Because the numbers that go with these words are found in a certain location, okay? So I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to put it in the order that you should look for it. First, we're going to find the of word. So we're going to look for of. Okay. Second, we're going to find percent. And then when we do the examples, you see, I'm going to show you how to, where you're going to look for those values. Okay, and again, percent can be written either as a symbol or as the word. And then last will be we'll just call it, say, the leftover number. And then that would be your is. I forgot to put quotations on mine. Okay, this all becomes a lot more clear when we start doing some examples. So the directions are going to ask you to find the missing value. So the first one we have, and you got to write out the problems. I'm going to ask you to do that on your homework so that you can do the circling and finding. 75 is 15% of what number? Okay, so what's interesting is we are going to have a question word, what, show up in every one of our little sentences. That is the number we're solving for. So we can either use a box to hold a place, or we could even use a variable. That's a letter that just represents some unknown value. Okay? All right, so let's get back to the business. So the first thing I do is I find the word of. And what that tells me, I have to look after him, always after. And I see the word what. Okay, I'm going to build my frame up. So here we go. So what I have is a mystery number for the of. So that's where my box would go, or I could use an X to represent an unknown. Next, I'm going to find my percent symbol, or word percent, and I always look in front. So the 15 is going to go over the 100. Okay? Then I'm going to look for whatever is left over. And the leftover number would go, notice everything but the word number and is, pink. So here's the weird thing about the is number. I'm going to take that arrow off. The reason why he's the last guy I look, because there's only 3 things that I can be putting in here, right? Because the 100 always is there. The is number sometimes comes in front of the word is, or sometimes comes after the word is. Okay? And I'm going to put a little note over here. What means the unknown / missing number? Because it isn't just what, it's usually what number, what number, what number, what number. So I'm going to actually extend that just a wee bit. And I'm going to say, what number? Okay. All right, so here's how we're going to play this. We've got this. Let's just cut to the chase. I'm going to show you the 7th grade way of solving this. So we're going to use cross products. So I'm going to always multiply by wherever my mystery number is by the number on the diagonal from it. So that's going to give me 15 times my mystery number. And that's going to be equal to, so that we're going to set these 2 products equal to each other, what I get when I multiply on the other diagonal. So that's going to be the part number, which is the is number, and we're going to multiply it by 100. Okay? So this is a new way of solving. So now I'm just going to do single color. So I still have 15 times the mystery number equals 75 times 100 is 7,500. And then I'm going to divide both sides, because the opposite of multiplying is dividing, by that number that's in front of the mystery, because I want to get the box all alone. Okay, so our mystery number is going to be what we get when we divide 15 into 75. 100. So I'm going to put it off to the side and do my math. 15 goes into 75 5 times evenly. Sorry, that's supposed to be 75. And then I have 2 extra zeros, so I have to bring them up. So I get my mystery number is 500. Okay, so here's how you could write the answer. 75 is 15% of, and then we would write our mystery number. So I'm going to put him, in this case, we'll make him orange. Actually, can we make him just his own color? Nah, we'll just leave him that. So it would be 500. So 75 is 15% of 500. Okay? Let's try another one. 9 is 36% of what number? So this problem sounds very similar to the other one we just did. That's okay, we can figure this out. And I'm going to show you a different way to solve this problem. I'm going to do the scale up, scale back method. So again, we're going to start by looking for the of and looking after him always. So we have what number? So that's our mystery number, okay? So that's our unknown. So let me get my frame in here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so that's there. Then I'm going to look for the percent symbol, and I'm going to look in front. So that puts 36 there. And anything that is left over is going to be the is. Okay? So part over whole equals percent over 100 is over of equals percent over 100. We're going to do the same thing we did. We're going to do cross products. So we're going to get 36. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I wasn't going to do that. Dink. Let's try that again. So here's what I'm going to do this time. What I notice is that, here's the thing, is I need to go toward the mystery number, okay? So up here at the top is where I can see a relationship. How do I get from 36 to 9? I'm going to divide by 4. I'm going to divide by 4, both places. And 100 divided by 4 is 25. So I can say that 9 is 36% of 25. So he's my mystery number. Now, look at the difference in space. Look at how much more space it takes if we do the cross products. Now, honestly, the cross products will work every single time. The only problem is your numbers may be kind of big. The other kind of problem is you may have to do long division. Okay, just letting you know. On number 2, though, if I can scale up or scale back to get to the mystery number, it doesn't take very much work at all. Okay, let's look at another one. Let's see if I can put them in here. 7 is, boy, these all are sounding the same. 70% of what number? So if you think about it, the problems that we did in 2.7 was more like, I'm just looking at my problems, refreshing my memory. So it's basically what is 145% of 320. So every time we were solving for the is number. So those little shorty ones are looking for the is number, the part number. These longer ones are going to be looking for the whole number. Now again, I'm going to tell you, in 7th grade, sometimes the percent number is the guy that's missing. I don't think we have any of those on our homework. Yeah, I don't think we do. Okay, we're just going to keep practicing. So let me get my frame in. All right. So I'm going to look for of, the word, and I'm going to look after. And it says what? So that, again, is our mystery number, or our X if we wanted to use it. Okay? And then we're going to look for percent, simple, and then we're going to look in front. So that's going to go over the 100. And then whatever is left over goes in the is spot or the part spot. Ooh, look at this one. Ooh, yeah. What do I do to 70 to make it 7? I divide by 10. What do I do to 100? Same thing, divide by 10. And 10 divided by 10 is 10. So we can say that 7 is 70% of 10. Okay? I don't think I've been boxing my answers. Sometimes. All right, last one, number 4. I'm going to stop there. We get 7 again is 35% of what number? So this one I think I'll do the cross products just so you can see it again. So let's get our frame in. First thing we look for is of, and we always look after. And it says what? So that's our mystery number. So this time I'm going to put an X in there. Ooh, scary, huh? Then I'm going to look for percent, symbol or word, and then look in front, and it says 35. Awesome. I got a leftover number. There's only one spot for him to go in the is or part spot. Okay, so I'm going to do cross products on this one. So we're going to get 35 times our mystery number, which I'm letting X hold the spot, like X marks the spot. And then that's going to be equal to what I get when I multiply the is times the 100, the part times 100. So I get 7 times 100. Oops, forgot the 1 there. That was crazy. So then I get 35 times X. That's when you have a number butted up to a variable. It means multiplication. And then we get 700. So then we're going to divide. Ooh, let me change the color there. Go back to red. Divide both sides by 35. Okay, so I know 35 divided by itself is going to give me 1, and 1 times X is X. So over here I'm going to do 35 dividing into 700. 35 goes into 70 twice, evenly, and there's an extra 0, so I have to bring it up. So then I get 20. So then I say for my answer, 7 is 35% of 20. Oh, I guess I should color those. I forgot. I'm going to go back and color those. That was bad of me. Oops, that's not coloring. That was supposed to be an eraser. So that should be 20. And then we made a boo-boo over here. And that's your 10. There you go. All right, and we'll practice this together in class on Thursday or Friday. All right, good luck, guys.